I have a rare brain disorder. And last year I couldn't even leave my bed. Today I finished second in a 33-mile ultra marathon. Please, if you feel like giving up on life, don't. If you change how you think, you too can change your life. Trigeminal neuralgia almost stopped my dreams. You are capable of way more than you think.
Well, it's been a long time, and to be honest, I don't really know where to start with this one, so I suppose I'll start at the finish. This is me finishing the Vale Ultra on Saturday from Penarth to Ogmore by Sea. Now this is a coastal path ultra marathon. It's 33 miles long, and I done it in 4 hours 48 minutes, and I ended up coming in second place. So yeah, a massive effort by me, and well, let's dig into it. So exactly 102 days ago I made the consecutive decision to start a run streak. Now this was for numerous reasons. Number one, last year was hellish for me with my trigeminal neuralgia. I was having up to 10 attacks a day. Under my eye here and in my chin jaw here, sending false signals through my brain, through my face into my brain, much like an electric shock. So for those of you that haven't heard of trigeminal neuralgia, I've done some videos on my channel, just go and check it out. I'd been pain-free for 5 months. The last 2 weeks I've started experiencing a slight return of the attacks. Not as bad as it was, manageable, but a little bit frustrating. I entered this race at a last minute decision. I've got the world record attempt coming up June the 4th, and that's going to be 40 miles. Pretty much the same route but backwards from Porthcawl to Penarth, carrying a 40-pound backpack. Now Rab have been kind enough to send me a backpack. I reached out to Rab, and they were good enough to support me and sent me an amazing backpack that I'm going to be using on the day. So training is going to really start ramping up now, and it was good to get those 33 miles in the bag in 4 hours something, and I felt strong, to be fair. So moving forward, we've got, I think, 7 weeks until the event. So yeah, hopefully I'm going to document my training towards that, and just to let you guys know how things are going. So by means of some sort of race recap. Now I didn't get any footage on the race because I didn't take a camera. However, I do have some photos, and my wife and my daughter took some videos. But I will break down the race and how it went, and hopefully show you on fat maps the route. So as you can see, the start of the route is on road. So it follows the Wales coastal path, and it deviates in Barry a little bit and cuts through the town centre and then goes back onto the Wales coastal path. So at the start of the race, I'd set up Pace Pro on my watch, and I knew the target times that I was aiming for. I'd already typed into Pace Pro that I was going to slow towards the latter end due to fatigue, and there's no way you're negative split in an ultra marathon, and also it took into consideration the elevation as well. So I knew in my mind I wanted to break 5 hours. Last year, 2019, sorry, I ran 5:21, but I blew up spectacularly. I mean, I pushed hard on the first half, and then I didn't have anything left. I didn't fuel properly. Today, this time, I fueled with Tailwind. I've never used Tailwind before, but I've heard so many people talk hype about Tailwind, I thought I'd give it a go. So when I registered in Up and Under on Friday, I picked up some Tailwind, some Kendall mint cake, and a pack of shot blocks. And this is all I had throughout, apart from the oranges. We'll come on to the oranges. Everybody's raving about the orange. Anyway, the first, I'd say 20 miles, apart from 1 or 2 climbs, was all road. If it wasn't road, it was hard packed grass. So I had a tactic of wearing brand new shoes again, nutrition I hadn't used, and shoes that I just bought, but they were the Reebok Float Ride 4s, and I've had 6 previous versions. pairs of the version 3. So I know they're an amazing trainer. So my plan was to wear these road shoes up until the 20-mile point at Aberthaw, and then make a decision on whether or not I change on into my new Saucony Podium 12 STs. Anyway, we set off. There was a group of 2 or 3 that led from the front, and then there was a pack of 4 or 5 of us. I was with the lead woman, Cheryl, and the winner from last year, Neil, who was pacing Cheryl, and then there was a couple of others, Gareth, and I didn't catch the other guy's name. And we pretty much stayed together, right, probably I'd say up until Barry, no, up until just before Nap, so probably about 12 miles, and it was a good pace. Some kilometers were clocking low 4:30s, so we were clipping along, and it was decent. I felt good. I could definitely feel the energy return from the tailwind. I've never had that before in regards to my ultra nutritions. I've always used gels, and I don't really get that kick or that feeling of energy. But yeah, they just seem to work. I did take 2 Diorolite because my stomach's known for being useless. But the tailwind seemed to be doing an amazing job. I split at Nap and managed to overtake second place. Second place was a Portuguese lad, Elder, I think his name was. I think he was a little bit lost and he hadn't got the stamps, so there was 2 compulsory stamps at Barry to make sure he didn't cut off part of the route, because he would have cut off approximately 2 miles, and he was hanging around. He'd run down to the bottom but not collected the stamps, so I took him with me. We collected the stamps, and he stayed with me then for probably just before Fontagari Caravan Park. I then increased the pace and put a little bit of a gap into him to ensure then that I was holding that second place. When I got to Aberthaw, my wife and daughter were there. I'll put a video here. Yay! Oh, he's only taking number 2. Well, man. There you go. I come in, I was feeling strong. The shoes, Reebok Float Ride 3s, at this point I was 31k in. I could feel a little bit of a hot spot underneath now. Reebok Float Rides are amazing shoes. That was probably the max distance for them shoes. It was 31 or 32k, I think. Or was it over 32k? I think it was just about 20 miles. I think it was just over 20 miles. So I think that was 18 miles is the float rides limit, I believe, because I felt absolutely perfect in them up until that point. When terrain started getting a little bit iffy and I was going through some hard-packed and rocky areas, I could feel a little bit of hot spot. So when I changed to my Podium 12s at Aberthaw at the 20-mile point, my feet, I didn't even change my socks, I was wearing the Injinji socks, my feet were absolutely spot on. And then it just became a tactic. The back half of the race, as you can see from the elevation plot, was where it mattered. It was all coastal path, it was all up and down, it was all farmers fields, all cliff edges. So I just stuck to my tactic of walking the hills and running the flats and the downhills, and to be honest, I felt great all the way through. There was points where I could feel an energy dip, and I took a shot block, the cherry shot blocks, and I felt great. I ended up eating half a Kendall mint cake, and we crossed over, and because there's 3 routes coming into one, you've got the 10 mile, the 18 mile, and then the ultra. It was good to see other runners and encourage other runners as I progressed through the route, and I've recce'd this route so many times that I knew exactly how long it would take me to get to the finish and what terrain and where to turn, so it took that sort of decision making out of it for me. And yeah, I got to the finish and I finished in 4 hours 48 minutes, and I managed to claw and keep the second place. Fabulous event, and I didn't have anything in the aid stations apart from the last 2 where I took on board some oranges, and I felt fantastic from them, and the feedback from everybody has been the oranges were amazing. I mean, it was once I had it at the aid station before Southern Down, Llantwit was my first oranges. Yeah, I was looking forward to the next one because it was a good hit and it settled well in the stomach. I didn't have any problems at all. Little bit disappointed that I didn't get a trophy for second place. Even so much so that I went back to the organisers of Run Rock Crawl when I seen the first place have a trophy, and just to make sure that first, second, third didn't get a trophy, but they said they'd send me a voucher for Up and Under via email. But yeah, a little bit of a disappointment with the no trophy, purely because it marks a very momentous occasion for me. It symbolises the fact that I've got over, or I'm getting over, this trigeminal neuralgia, and the fact that my fitness is coming back. Like last year, I had given up hope on ever getting back to where I was, and my mindset was such that I was in a dark place, and with therapy and the pain medication, I'm here now, which is amazing. And let's move on to the world record attempt, June the 4th. Guys, I apologise, I know I haven't been uploading at all. I just, with regards to my condition and stuff, and just not being consistent, and I've said it over and over and over again, but I will be consistent in keeping you up to date on how I am doing with my training towards this world record. So yeah, big thumbs up for finishing second place in the Vale Ultra, and if anybody wants to do it, it's a fabulously organised event. It's well marked, the marshals are amazing, the volunteers are amazing, and the route is absolutely beautiful. It was boiling and there was a disgusting headwind, but that didn't really play a part yesterday because I was in such a mindset that nothing was going to stop. Guys, thanks for watching. As always, if you have liked it, then please subscribe to the channel, drop a comment down below. What is your favourite ultra race? This has got to be up there with one of them for me because it's local. And stay tuned for my training for the world record attempt.